This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, folks. We call ourselves to order, and we welcome you to August the 3rd, 2026 meeting of our county commissioners. We are indeed delighted that you chose to come tonight to be a part of your community and your civic duty to be a part of this process. So we thank you for standing. We're going to have prayer tonight, and then we'll most likely we'll lead ourselves in the Pledge of Allegiance, unless the folks from Paul R. Brown come in here at the last minute. So honored tonight to have Reverend Eric Melvin from the Great Dublin First Baptist Church, who will come now and provide our invocation.
You would pray with me tonight. Father God, we're just so grateful, Lord, that we can petition heaven, Lord, that we can come to the maker of heaven and earth, Lord. Just offer up our prayers to you. Lord, we just thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for the life that you've given us, Lord, the breath in our lungs. Lord, we thank you for this community, Lord, that you have given us, Lord, to steward over. And God, I pray tonight, we all pray tonight, Lord, that you would just have your presence here tonight, Lord, as we steward our responsibility to live well in the place that you have given us, Lord. We pray for our leaders and these commissioners, Lord, that you would give them wisdom to steward over the leadership that you have appointed to them, Lord, because we know biblically that you appoint people, Lord, over us. And God, we just pray that they would have wisdom, Lord, to do their job. And God, I pray that it would go well in the land for us, Lord. Yeah. That we all would just carry on our responsibility. We would all just seek the Father of heaven, Lord, his Son, Jesus Christ, Lord. And we would live accordingly. That there would be peace in the land, Lord. And I pray for peace tonight, Lord, over this community and over this meeting. And it's in Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Take a motion to approve the consent items as printed before you.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent items, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Individuals or delegations wishing to address the commissioners tonight. Matters of interest to commissioners tonight.
Mr. Chair, I just have, two things. The first thing is, the senior citizens, East Arcadia senior citizens have asked for some support for their annual budget or annual banquet that will be held on September 12th, 2026. I know that we do not have any funds. We normally disperse funds at the beginning of the year, and I ask that if Ms. Lisa can send them an application for next year, because I think we do it like early in the year. But on their behalf, though, if those commissioners who are willing to just donate, and they're personally, right, and the address is on the letter that I sent each of you. And I think they will appreciate those dollars if you support them.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say thank you to Coastal Horizon. Our church sponsors a reentry program for the individuals who've been incarcerated, and it came out really well at that Ball Branch Missionary Baptist Church. That was last Friday, July 31st, and I want to thank Coastal Horizon because everything was really great. It lasted a long time. They even provided lunch and everything, but let Coastal know that we're very appreciative of what they did for the citizens of Bladen County.
Thank you. We do have two matters. Go ahead, Mr. Davis.
On, road sign, intersection of Mercer Mill and Dewitt Road. About 2 months ago, they put up a new sign, name sign, and evidently they didn't use enough bolts on it because it fell off the pole.
You got a note, ma'am, please? Yes, sir, Mr. Peterson.
So I would like to ask the Board of Commissioners if they approve, Chris Harrison has a ministry going on, and he wants to use the courthouse lawn August the 18th, September 1st, and September 15th, and put a it would be a pop-up tent. And you have a banner and one table and two chairs, and they're gonna give away hope bags. People that, come by the courthouse or come to the courthouse. Unless the commission please approve that for those 3 days. It'll be from, I'm sorry, 8:30 to 12.
The motion,
I'm like,
Second.
all right, there is, and I want to speak to that. I agree with, and I'm all in favor of that. I think, let me ask a question of our county manager. Do we currently have a policy when it comes to religious organizations, other nonprofits, using courthouse lawn or any other facility?
I'm gonna have to research that and see.
I think it's with the influx of so many things happening around our nation and communities that are probably questionable to most of us, I think it might be a good time to develop a policy to kind of let folks know where we stand, so we're not up here as the 9 of us going, well, it's fine with me, let's just, so that we do have a policy, if that makes sense.
If we do have one, we've broke it several times.
Yeah, but just to set a, set a,
I think it allows.
Set a precedent.
set a standard that this is what we will allow, and anything beyond that would be a no, and I don't get into any specifics, but there would be things that folks may want to petition us to use our courthouse lawn for that we would not want to, but my point is, I'm not going to belabor this point, I think it's a long way. But we can't retroactively come up with a rule once we get ourselves, once somebody's standing here and saying we want to have a satanic ritual on the front courthouse lawn. And I agree 110% with what Mr. Peterson's brought before us. But when we approve this, there's somebody out there that's gonna go, well, I'll show them. I'm gonna come up here and we're gonna do something like that. So I just think we better go ahead and get a policy. That makes sense? All right, with that in mind, any other discussion? Yes. Hold on, is that on this?
No.
All right, everybody good? All right, all in favor of approving Chris Harrelson and those dates that Mr. Peterson mentioned, to distribute these, put up a tent, distribute these care packages, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Yes, sir, Dr.
I just add what David brought up about the sign, if we could maybe check in with DOT about the Ellis Creek sign on 53 there. I think 2 of them are gone, if I'm not mistaken, if they can be checked. Just typical.
The beach road signs, the
Right.
green or blue signs.
That's right, they're green.
Yeah.
So they're,
We can handle that.
okay, gotcha. On 53,
Name of the road.
right.
The road's out, the road name. And
Also, Mr. Chairman, we've already contacted the North Carolina Department of Transportation regarding MLK Drive, and that's done anything out there. Also, there are some repairs needed on, Peanut Plant Road through the North Carolina Department of Transportation.
if you could, maybe after the meeting, get with Mr. Croom the specific areas. I do know the 210 and 41 that we mentioned last time, they did clear that.
I think it's good.
And that's out at the store at the crossroads there, and it is much better.
But
Yes,
even
ma'am.
on, 41, it's further down, there's a real curve further down, about a mile and a half. I don't know if they did that yet.
Yeah.
My second thing was, Mr. Chair, was that I came to Mr. Crum, talked about Troy, Graham Road, and East Arcade Road, and the water and Sandy. I think they said DOT was gonna come in July. Well, they're still working on 87, but they have never hit the cap on that road. They have not done that. Graham Road, of those with the 2 feet drop off, those have not been repaired. They did drop some sand, but it's not enough because it's washing away. It's on Graham Road and East Arcadia Road. I'll send those to you again if you like. Thank you.
Go ahead and take care of 4A and B. 4A, consider accepting the attached community development block grant neighborhood revitalization funding approval and approved grant agreement to accept community development block grant neighborhood as printed before you. Is there a motion to accept this CDBG?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. 4B, consider adopting the proclamation recognizing August 29th, 2026 as the day of remembrance of the Battle of Elizabethtown. There's a motion, is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. And I've been asked to read that at an event here in Elizabethtown. any other matters of interest to the commission. I just want to speak, and hope you'll hear my heart. I'm not trying to pick a fight in any way, shape, or form. Over the last week, I've been asked a lot in the community. People have sent me emails and things, kind of wanting to know where each of the commissioners stand on the proposed sales tax referendum, on the proposed community building. And I went into last Tuesday night's meeting with I tried to say I'm an open mind and a shut mouth, and I did good on both. Surprising. But I've had a week kind of to consider it and think about it, and I do think it's important in a public setting. Since I didn't speak last Tuesday night to share kind of where I am, and I will be extremely brief. I think the concept is great. My kids play ball, they play all kinds of sports, they love it. But while the concept is great, I think it goes back to a matter of cost. And I reached out to a couple commercial contractors, just, give me a ballpark of what it costs to build commercially, and they ranged anywhere from $300 to $550 a square foot. At $350 a square foot times 70,000 square feet, that's $24.5 million just for the building, plus infrastructure, plus running the sewer, plus grading and site prep and all of that. And I'm struggling how $600,000 a year through tax revenue pays for 24/5. Again, the concept of what to build, it sounds wonderful. And I think the principle of stewardship, to whom much is given, much is required, and be faithful with little, God will make you ruler over much, whatever. But we've got so many needs in our community, people that don't have clean water. We have buildings that have mold and buildings that are ramshackle and needing repairs. It's hard for me to imagine sticking our neck out for $24.5 million to build a building. And again, that's my guess. I heard something in Tuesday night's meeting. We need to pass this tax and then we'll figure it all out. And that's about the most dangerous thing I can imagine saying. Because, we need to figure it out before we ask people to go out in the community and sell this building. I've sold a lot of stuff in my life, but I've never sold anything that I didn't know how much it was going to cost. I struggle thinking about people, citizens going out in our communities to churches, civic organizations, to families and saying, we want you to support this tax, which we need to support this tax. The quarter cent sales tax brings $600,000 into this community, and a lot of that money is coming in from people who aren't residents here. They're coming here and they're leaving a better portion of their money here. We need that. But I was thinking going into this thing, and I voted the initial plan of, I just said it wasn't a good time for a tax referendum, simply because we've just come out of the reval fiasco, and I think people are going to have a hard time trusting us right now. We didn't have the idea, like you said Tuesday night, it wasn't our idea to do the reval. We didn't want to do it. We did it kicking and screaming, but we had to do it. But I think in the community, people are saying, boy, they couldn't get us one way, they're going to get us another way. And I guess, and if I'm wrong, please speak up and tell me. But I was thinking we were going to do something to create some revenue for our county. But it sounds like to me we're creating a little bit of revenue and a lot of expense. Yes, sir, Mr. Peters.
So, Mr. Cameron, the 70,000 square feet is the facility at North Myrtle Beach. The facility that we're talking about building will be built based on the quarter cent sales tax. So we have met the day to day. It might be 50,000 square feet. It might be 40,000 square feet. But there's a difference there is a lot of needs in this county, but this money is coming from that quarter cent sales tax. And you pay in every county. Columbus County's got on the ballot this year too. It's not like you can take that quarter cent and go put water in somewhere or take the mold out of the building. You can't use that money for that. The money has to be specifically used for whatever your referendum says, and I think, if I'm badly mistaken. So it's not like we're going to go out there and build a $70,000, $25 million facility knowing that we can't afford it. But what we do want to build is something that we can afford off that quarter cent sales tax, which will $600,000, and years to come will be a whole lot more, we hope, that will make the payment on that. So that's what we're talking about doing. I'm telling And I was probably the one that said all these things that probably shouldn't have said. But I believe this is strong as he believes his way. Bladen County needs to do something. We need to do things different than we've been doing. Our grandchildren and their grandchildren deserve better than we provided here. If we could use that quarter-cent sales tax to put water in, I guarantee every one of the commissioners would vote for it. But we can't do that. This quarter-cent sales tax is, we want to use that quarter-cent sales tax and no more money to build what we want to build.
Yes, sir, Mr. Britt. I'd like to mention what I mentioned at the meeting the other night on behalf and for the people sitting out here tonight. I run a business in this county and this town. But I've also lived in Myrtle Beach with Cape Craftsman years ago, Panama City, Florida years ago. I have swinging doors that people come in my store every day that want to move here, have moved here. What do you have? What do you have for my kids? What do you have for this? What do you have for that? The quarter-cent sales tax, let me explain something to you for those that may not know. White Lake, 90% of their traffic, pretty much, is out of county and out of state. Ricky Lyman tells me 85–90% of his business is out of town, out of county, out of state. Mike Suggs, around 70% at Fisher's. Mine's 55 to 60%. So where the quarter cent come in is this. Like you said, it's for a specific use, and that's all you can use it for. And but this was a situation of offering to our citizens. I'm leaving here. I'm 70, be 72 my birthday. But God blessed me, and I hope to be here a while longer. But I'm talking about something for my great-grandchildren, which I have, and grandchildren, and yours, that they can appreciate and see that we had foresight. I don't want to go in. There's no way I'll sign off on $24 million. No more than what we can afford to do out of $600,000. So, but my point is trying to give you and your family something that you've been asking us for that we don't want to put on a property tax that the property owners have got to pay for, but give you something that the people who are coming here spending the money will pay 80 to 90%, hopefully, of the tab to give you something that you can use down the road. In a year's time, I don't know if it'll cost you $10 or $25. And let's be specific. We're not talking about stuff that affects seniors like grocery, medicine, and things of that nature. We need to be specific when we talk about what the quarter cent is going on. So I'm a senior. I live off Social Security. And even though I have a business, but my health and my son and my family gets money, I don't believe they write me no check. I donate my time, and I thank God I'm able to do that. But the point is trying to help this county have something that we can't give you by accessing property tax. And yes, Cameron's right. I told the state says do a revow. I mean, look, my store was gonna double. Everything's gonna double. Charles Ray's house was going up 107. I don't know of a commission that wanted a revow. Now, my answer to the state is they said do this revow. Now, since you didn't accept 9 counties of it, how about cutting us a check back for $600,000? Because you said do it to reimburse us for what we spend of your money. But I don't think that's going to happen. And needless to say, they didn't put that on the news last Tuesday night or whatever night we had the meeting. But I'm for helping you get something that you want that the bulk of the outsiders is going to pay for, but not go in debt for no $24 million either. I hope you think that there's more commission up here got more sense to do something like that than not, because I'll block it. And I hope you know that most of us are smart enough that we would block it. But $300 a square foot or $350 for a steel building, I like to be the contractor if there's that much money to be made in it. I'm on the BBI, Bladen Blooming, but I don't think we pay that for no steel building. But anyway, I'm for doing something for y'all, but at the same time, we don't have to do it either. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask, I believe that we need something here in Bladen County. And facilities such as, could be 40, 50,000 feet, square feet, will allow students or our children and grandchildren will have the opportunity to have a place that they can participate in sports, a place where you can have a graduation, that anybody can come, not just 5 people, to allow your family members to have competitive events here in Bladen County instead of traveling back and forth. I think what you should do, or I want all of our citizens to do, is look at the pros and the cons, to look at listen to or check the Facebook information and read it for yourself. You know what the needs are, and it's a one-time requirement. You either vote for it now or later. And when you do, you spend $10, you end up getting on sales on certain things, like you said, not medicine, not on your groceries and stuff like that, but other things. And it'll be $10, you spent 2.1 cents. That's all. So it's not like we're paying dollars or you require citizens paying a lot of money. It's not. And again, it's more citizens or people who travel to Bladen County more than the in. Because we probably don't eat out as much. Because we cook at home. But our visitors, they will probably take the bulk of it. But again, let's say it's $100 is what? That's it. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, but still, it doesn't apply, as you said, to groceries, gas, utilities, and drug bills. Are those excluded from that?
Thank you. Again, I'm not trying to create an argument, I just, at the meeting on Tuesday night, it was, the question was raised, how much of this building costs, and the answer was, we don't know, we need to pass it, and we'll figure it out. I think that just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It seems a rush to judgment, and $600,000 just don't go a long ways anymore, unfortunately. I sure wish it did. All right, you're correct. Number 5, opioid litigation funding, Dr. Terry Duncan, Health Department.
I got a question. She just has one.
And Ms. Katie.
Tonight, I'd like to introduce to you Katie Evans, our resource coordinator. I don't think that you have met her formally. Thank you for the opportunity to present the resolution to you. You had in your packet the resolution to adopt the direct expenditure of opioid settlement funds. We ask for your approval.
Motion approved. For a second? All right.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have, this young lady came in and asked, and did a presentation. Did you hear her presentation? Her presentation, things that really hit the services, the gap of those services. Long-term counseling, behavior service, prevention, especially for youth, the mind, other things. I don't see any of that here. The education that I said, education funding is okay, for life skills, $2,500. Ain't gonna do much. Health education, $36,000. But even with that, it doesn't tell how you're gonna use support resources coordinated regarding substance use. Where's the gap? The service for the gap. Where's
Remember, this is the first 3 or so years of a 15-year plan. Mr. Peterson has his hand raised. Do you want to address that? Okay. So Life Skills is a program that we initially had through the 6th through 8th grade. We expanded it in the school when we're going to do the 5th through the 9th grade, but the parent privacy law came into effect. So now we're trying to work with the school, and we're going to do a project, a pilot project, and rather than the health education PE teachers teaching it, our health educators, resource educators are gonna go into the school. We also want to expand to Paul R. Brown and MRO, and that's, prevention. We also have, through the resource coordinator, outreach events with our peer support specialist, Katie, and others for, outreach efforts on opioids, vaping, because we know that vaping is an entry-level drug. There are multiple educational opportunities going on through Katie's efforts and the resource coordination. The resources available in Recovery Bladen, we have 275 people that access that site, and on that site are listed prevention, recovery, treatment, 73 pages that are available in and around Bladen County and for Bladen County. We filled the gap a little bit, y'all filled the gap through this with funding for the Healing Place, Southern Crossroads, and Teen Challenge, so that people in Bladen County can do their opioid addiction and other substances and don't have to pay out of their pocket. When you look at the naloxone that's provided for EMS, there's
Mr. McGill, thank you, Terry, Dr. Duncan, good job. But a lot of this stuff that the lady presented, Freedom does a lot of that. We have opioid, we have all these different countries and people coming in there that does exactly what she does part of, and they're part of the organization. That's the reason I invited her to the meeting. We'd be more than happy to look at her email and evaluate it. But we're doing a lot of that now, but it's not coming through these opioid funds, it's coming through TRIA.
Okay.
Well, TRIA is our NCO. I mean, one thing we're doing, we got 3 peer supports at the hospital that's doing a lot of this. And one thing that we're gonna do this year, we've always had data, but we are really gonna go out and collect data so we can really take this data and justify what we're doing and what we're not doing going forward.
But what do, vape? It's sad. I mean, it's really sad. And these young adults or young teens, they have no clue the damage that's causing them. They don't understand not just the oils in it. So what are we doing for them? How do you reach?
I can't answer that, please.
That's what I mean. Can I do that?
So through the life skills program, we'll be able to go in and teach them these skills that they'll need. But also Trillium has done educational programs in the schools. We had 2 recently at East Bladen and West Bladen, and 1 at, I think, for the middle schools. And it was like a vaping 101 class that they were able to do. So I'm hoping that will continue as well, but that would be through Trillium and not these.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll stop.
What you're doing with the cities and the towns and all that stuff.
What is it?
Got it comes and helps us.
We're working with the tobacco regional specialist and have the vaping ordinances. We talked about those the last meeting when we were here, and we're working currently with White Lake and Elizabethtown. And we're gonna be coming to y'all to ask for a county ordinance too.
In addition to the opioid task force, there's also the JCPC, and we've been working with that as well. Our resource officers bring us reports, and just amazing things. You said a kid has a hoodie on and sitting there chewing on the little string from their hoodie, and the teacher realizes they're getting high because they're vaping or whatever, getting through their, it's hard to even imagine these days, so.
And the hoodie was actually bought in Bladen County in a vape store.
Battle we're fighting is something we probably can't even imagine.
And I'm sure that we can come up with another idea to try to help fight behavior, because more behavior.
And they're working very hard and excited for Katie, a younger person, being here with them.
And Dr. Munsgoins and Mr. Peterson, to your point about resources, we have resources. If you had asked me 3 or 4 years ago, we didn't have the resources. Our problem is how do we get it out into the community? And that's what we're working really hard to do. So people that are here, if you will ask us to come to your community, we'll come, you tell us when and we'll be there. People that are sitting in the audience, we need the invite.
One more thing, we have 5 or 6 billboards around this county with all kind of numbers on it to call and people to reach out to. I mean, there's a lot of effort going on, around this opioid task force, and Katie and Dr. Duncan do a lot of it.
And I'm glad, and I did in it some, and I still see my desk vacant, and it bothers me to know that. I thought cigarettes were bad, but I think vapes are worse. Bad.
All right, thank you. We have a motion, a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor then of approving the resolution directing expenditure of opioid settlement funds, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Let us know how we can help you as well. DSS, Joe Sampson. See, they were considering approving energy programs out. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Chairman McGill and members of the board. The department is requesting your consideration to approve the fiscal year 2026-2027 Energy Outreach Plan. That was included in your packet. There are no changes from last fiscal year, and this outreach is through our county stakeholders and also media coverage throughout.
Motion approved.
Second. I'll take one in a second. Yes. Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Secondly, consider approving the subsidized child care assistance program policy.
Yes. Yes, and this child care assistance program policy, it has already been pre-reviewed by the state and approved. It just needs your final approval, and it is regarding prioritizing our placement of vulnerable children for daycare services.
A motion and a second. Mr. Brett, thank you. And any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
Thank you.
Finance Department, Lisa. Thankful for you.
Evening to each of us.
Yeah.
No dashboard tonight. Tonight, I'm asking for your consideration on approving the Community Development Block Grant request for proposals.
You were sharing with me the specific purpose of this.
Is included in the second paragraph on that. It is for the project is to convert the former Bladen County Jail facility into a 7,000 square foot emergency operations center.
What's the second? Motion second. Discussion. I just have one question, and I know we had met back in the fall. And once these funds are accepted and approved, is there any shifting? Is there any freedom on our part if you get into it and saying this is really it and the best place to put this, or there's another option? Can we back up and fund at any point?
Not that I'm aware of. It was, it was given to by the state.
But there've just been, I don't remember, and I may be wrong, I don't remember this board ever voting to do this.
Well, we've been, even when Greg was here, they were meeting to discuss it, so.
I mean, we talked about it, I just don't ever remember voting to tear that building down and build the EOC.
It's been heavily discussed and talked about, voted, I think we have too.
I think we voted on that.
And it's covered,
Commissioner Coleman asked it.
and it's covered in mold, so that's another reason we need to get rid of it is.
Absolutely. I'm asking because I was asked. Just, I was told in the fall, we were gonna take the building down and that was gonna add some parking.
Gotcha.
So I don't, what was I not?
Parking.
Mhm.
The application was for a 77,100 square foot building, tear down the jail, and build that. Of course, that project was gonna run $5 million, now it's $2.5 million. So we're gonna have some more discussions, with Department of Commerce on this particular grant. See
Okay.
if we have to reapply or if we have to make do with the $2.5 million.
So let me just ask one question again. Was I or was I not told last fall that we possibly could take down the old jail and that would provide more parking around the courthouse?
I think that's a purpose of the grant. Now, what we applied for was to tear it down and build a EOC there that was 7,100 square foot.
You're saying we,
There's been several conversations about this. If there was talk about tearing it down and putting the parking lot, that's a true statement. But the grant was wrote different. We've had a lot of conversation about tearing it down and what could be put there.
I understand. But in the transition from your being chairman to my being chairman, we met. Shaquille, thank you. And we laid out all these different options. And I said, well, what about parking? Mr. Peterson responded, we can't use that money for parking. And she said, well, yeah, we can. Then she started talking about a parking debt. And I said, boy, that's what I want to be known for, the guy that got a parking debt in downtown Elizabethtown. We all laughed. But that was the end of the we were going to come back and look at, you know, the options. This was just a meeting with us, okay? But we were going to come back and discuss other options, but we never did. And here we are, and it is what it is, y'all.
So, what I recall, I think this grant was written before that time. I think.
Do you remember the
It's been a while.
I remember the conversation, I remember the whole thing, you wanted to buy the Maynard's Law and put a parking lot there, I remember all that.
I want to buy Jim Hill's lot and put a parking lot there.
Well,
I've made no bones about that. But anyway, we're not going to buy that lot most likely, because I'm the only one that wants it. Y'all come to the courthouse, you can't find a place to park. We had a heavy court day this week. Before the business is ever, I know you aggravated that in Charles Ray. Before the business is open, it was Friday week ago, I think Friday. Before the business is downtown open, every parking spot was gone. Everyone, because of traffic court. The line was lined up around, but I don't know why I know there wasn't many people that had parking tickets and traffic tickets. But there's no place to park, except where the business is. By the time the business is open, sorry, all your parking's taken.
Library, and then we have this over closed, partly parking up behind the courthouse is closed. And that took us some as well.
Well, it's like that all the time, though. I can't understand why we're not getting any movement on, there's a parking lot next to the courthouse, but we can't. We seem to find money for everything else, but we can't find that. I always keep beating that drum till they run me off, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense why we cannot get any movement toward buying a parking lot to provide our citizens a place to park when they come to our courthouse. That's being said, sorry, Ms. Lee, you didn't deserve all that.
Okay.
These are people who can't find a parking spot, they can't blame me at this point.
blame me.
Right? I know there was a conversation about this. We were gonna come back and revisit it. We never revisited it. I'll take blame for that. I should have stayed on top of it.
But I think it's just their problem. I guess, Mr. McGill, Mr. Chairman, so that's a conversation between Mr. Peterson, because
Absolutely, it
we're
was.
not aware of it.
It was in the county office, and
And that's,
What I remember is exactly like you just said a moment ago. I do remember having several conversations in this forum about that becoming like an EOC.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember, you know, and that was, it's my sixth, seventh year. That was even quite some time ago, which I know it's been talked.
ongoing.
You know, it come to fruition as of that point. But maybe y'all did talk about that. And,
Mr. Chairman, I thought the decision was to put an EOC there, and where the jail is now.
again, I'm talking about a meeting happened in the county office, and it just never was, for whatever reason, we just never came back and so, anyhow, it's all good. I was hoping we could find some parking somewhere, and that was told to me that would possibly be a place to build some parking. But we need an EOC, we need to get it out of here.
Mr. Chairman, just somebody mentioned the parking down there,
DOE, election.
across from the old, used to be the library, wasn't it?
There's a parking lot already there.
in the library parking lot.
No, in front of, on this side.
You're talking about the Jim Hill lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's closed. That's not available.
Not
Yeah,
available.
we boarded it off.
Not for parking.
I don't blame you, we won't buy any.
I thought we could buy and create a parking lot.
Would you like to make a motion to that end?
Well,
That's
We can
a
solve a lot of
STEM
arguments.
building. That's the STEM building for the incubators.
I thought it was vacant lot there.
He's talking about the corner lot, Jim,
Corner lot.
South H block.
I know he is, but, he's saying the old post office.
We had a motion on the table.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, no, you're good. All in favor of approving the Community Development Block Grant, 7A, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign.
And part B is to consider approving the proposal for the advertisement.
The motion? Second? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you.
Bladen County Water District, gentlemen, would come.
Motion to go to water board.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. You have what you had requested there before you, a list of the taps, hydrants. You also should be getting this in an email as well.
Yes. I got one question. On the tap you have listed, long tap, short tap, what's the difference?
A long tap is where the water line is on the opposite side of the road than the residence, and we have to bore under the road. And a short tap, the water line's on the same side.
Good question and a very good answer.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, sir. What you got, anything on your mind or heart tonight you want to tell us?
Last week, we had a stir up of brown water around the Center Road area.
Yeah, we know.
And as soon as we were notified about it, we started flushing in that area.
You feel like you got it?
Yeah, we done a little bit of extra flushing today because we had a couple more complaints.
Good. As far as you know?
As far as we know, we hadn't.
Yes, sir.
So, one day last week, there was a fire on James Spate Road.
Yes.
Were you notified that they were using a lot of water, a lot of fire trucks, and?
Yes.
Did you flush that in there?
We had started flushing that morning
Before the fire?
before the fire.
Coincidence, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Most of us are under the impression the fire and the use of all the water was what started it up.
We started flushing before the fire. Surprised we didn't see the fire because we were there.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I just have a question for you, and maybe you can help me. And maybe some of the board members can help me as well. This gentleman was talking to me about his water over at White Oak staff. He said that the gentleman paid a pond that drained all of the tap on the opposite. Are you aware of that?
I am not, I heard about it, but that's as much as I.
He was saying that, his neighbor, dug his pond, and he's trying to drain the water off his land, houses, so he can build some houses, which is okay.
Right.
But I think, the neighbor said that they are now had issues getting water from their well, because they're on a well. Are you familiar with that? Have you?
I've heard some issues of that.
So I guess my question,
That's a good question.
how does that, can you help me with all that? I know it's a,
Most private wells are only 40 to 60 foot deep. Ours are 200 foot deep, so we don't pull out of the same aquifer.
She's talking about it was a private well.
Yeah, this is a private well. Private wells are usually 40 to 60 foot deep. Some are deeper.
When did this start, him having trouble?
I saw him was it last Tuesday night?
So it could just be the drought.
And that could,
Theoretically.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I just.
Well, that's how the well went dry there,
Yeah.
I remember about a month ago.
There's a lot of people, I think, having trouble with their water pressure,
Right.
with enough water because it's so dry.
Okay, Mr. Peterson, because he know about it.
Yes, sir.
I got a call to go over to that man's house, and I went there, and he was at the doctor's office, and I called Chris Bordeaux to go out there, and I told Sam I was gonna get. Chris went out there and seen the guy, but I ain't seen the report back, so
Okay.
Chris Bordeaux is
Oh, Chris,
Chris got information, but I don't have it.
okay. But you tell me a lot of the wells though are short, it's not deep anyway.
Correct.
Drought can create problems, really.
Right.
Anybody else got anything tonight from the water board?
I do have a question. It's out of interest out of what you're bringing up. When people do big irrigation projects, and I'm not asking hypothetically because there's a big crowd asking about it out there around Baytree. When they do these huge projects that require water use, irrigation, and all this type of thing, and changing the landscape, how's that permitted? Is it just, they just do it, or is it permitted through the county, the state?
It would have to be permitted through the county or the state.
Okay. Okay. I was just wondering.
Anyone else? Not, I'll entertain a motion, come out of water board. Second. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
extra work to get us the report as well. All right, on the 17th of August, my child turns 30. Whew, hard to believe. Anyway, in addition to that, we have a library advisory board, 1, Lower Cape Water and Sewer, 2, Local Emergency Planning Committee, 1, Voluntary Agriculture District Committee, 1. That, turn things over to County Manager Croon.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners. Starting in August 10th at 5 p.m. will be the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meeting. That'll be at the Bladen County Health Department. On August 11th at 5 p.m. will be the Board of Elections meeting there at the Board of Elections. On August 13th at 6 p.m. will be the Bladen County Firefighters Association meeting. That'll be held at the Bladen County Emergency Services Training Center. It'll be hosted by Carvers Creek Fire Department. On August 15th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., will be Bladen Community College annual back to school class there at the main campus. On August 17th at 5 p.m. will be the Board of Equalization Review. They'll be here. That meeting will be at Commissioners. Here at Commissioners. At 6:30 that night will be the Board of Commissioners meeting here at the courthouse. On August 29th, at 10 a.m. will be the Battle of Elizabethtown, the 245th anniversary and rededication ceremony at Torrey Hole Park here in Elizabethtown. Going into September the 7th, the county office buildings will be closed. On September the 8th, which is a Tuesday, we'll start that morning at 8 a.m. for a prayer service here in the Commissioner's Room. At 5 p.m., the Board of Elections will have their meeting there at the Board of Elections. 6:30 that night, the Board of Commissioners will have the meeting here at the Bladen County Courthouse. On September 10th at 6 p.m. will be Bladen County Firefighters Association meeting. That will be at Clarkson Fire Department. On September 14th at 5 p.m., the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee meeting will be held at the Bladen County Health Department. On September the 21st at 6:30 will be the Board of Commissioners meeting here at the lower level of the Bladen County Courthouse. That is the calendar.
All right, we've got a few updates and reports for us.
I do. With NCDOT, I've been working with NCDOT on different projects throughout the county, and depending on what the project is different parts of NCDOT are handling the projects. Like Highway 87, the construction that's taking place out there is with contractors, so they have reached out to them. But the other projects, I'm still working with our local NCDOT on these projects. And I will continue to follow up on these projects until they're complete. Joey Coleman and myself met with ADR in East Arcadia. We met separately with these two fire departments, and with East Arcadia, we actually met with the fire department in town. Talking with both fire departments and officials, both fire departments are willing to enter into a mutual aid agreement or an automatic aid agreement. So Mr. Coleman's going to be working with both fire departments to work out that agreement between both. And both sides are willing to meet and discuss further and have these meetings. That would be led by Joey Coleman Emergency Services and also the Fire Marshal's Office. As these meetings progress, Mr. Coleman will provide me with updates as they progress.
So as of right now, is there an agreement?
There is not agreement.
So what happened?
We're going to be meeting this week, Mr. Cummins will be meeting this week with both chiefs to work out that agreement.
Is there at least a gentleman's agreement right now that if something were to happen in the next 3 days, that there's not a gap in service, that somebody would perish?
Well, East Arcadia, Fire Department is responding to calls, and they do have a mutual aid agreement with Kelly Fire Department.
Or, I thought the other group said that they would respond if they were paid.
Correct, and that's what we're working out to get a mutual aid agreement. And that's between, ADR and the town of East Arcadia.
Right. So they would respond, they would just require payment.
Correct.
Right, okay.
I mean, it sounds like you're making progress. I just, anytime there's a gap in coverage or something, you always.
And like I said, Mr. Coleman's working with, both fire chiefs this week to create that meeting. My third item is Sheriff McVicker, Lisa Coleman and I, have discussed the funding for the two SRO positions. These are two positions, one with each high school. Sheriff McVicker, I appreciate, he has really gone the extra mile to look at these two positions, and he is working on different plans and different, funding mechanisms without raising the fund balance. And, so we're working with Sheriff McVicker, but this week, Lisa Coleman and I will be meeting with, Dr. Jason Atkinson with schools to discuss funding for these SRO positions as well. So there'll be more information to come at our second meeting.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Very much.
Also, the website, if you go onto the website, you'll see, some updates that are happening on the website. This is, we worked with the company this year to update our website for people with disabilities, and to also to comply with Americans with Disabilities Act. So if you go on and you see something a little bit different, if you go over to the side, you can still click on the PDF and it will bring up what you've been used to seeing. And I do want to talk a little bit about the 2026 general election. Already voted, you got at your place setting, you do have a flyer on that. That will be taking place October 15th through October 31st, with voting hours from 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday through Fridays, and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. There'll be no voting on Sundays. Early voting sites will be Jones Lake State Park, Old Spalding Monroe Building in Bladenboro, East Arcadia Town Hall, and the Community Center in Elizabethtown. And Mr. Chairman, that's all the updates I have for you tonight.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a question. What impact would it be if you the school system get a private security handle the security on the school? What impact would that be?
Would have to talk with the schools and also to the sheriff on that. I don't know if the sheriff's prepared to say anything on that tonight.
It can be done. It has been tried in other counties. It just didn't work out. I believe, speaking with Lisa, we may have a solution to this. And I'll be with the FBI director tomorrow in Raleigh, and I hope we can bring some good news back.
Okay.
That's good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was thinking about that. Maybe they can get a private security to take care of
I'd be all for it. I'll push it.
Have to pay for it.
Yep, they don't like it. Thank you. All right. Appreciate y'all going the extra mile, for the sake of the citizens that are here tonight. Most of us have no idea just how much all of our county employees put in, but especially Sam and Maria, representing us and keeping us on the run. We appreciate you so much, all of your department heads and staff. Right, any individuals, delegation wishing to address the commission?
Yes.
All right,
Mr. Leonard.
Mr. Leonard, there he is, you moved on.
All right.
Thank you for being here tonight, Mr. Leonard.
Good evening, Commissioners, everybody.
Yes, sir.
I would sit down, but this is something I don't wanna say sitting down because it's very serious to me. It was brought to my attention, since y'all last commissioner meeting. A letter was brought to the commissioners, Office of State Fire Marshal, Kendall Clark, and those about East Arcadia Fire Department. Statements that were made, and I'll say this, are blatantly false. We don't miss calls. In fact, let me read them. Good evening. It was brought to my attention since your last meeting that a letter was sent to Bladen County Commissioners, Office of State Fire Marshal Joel Coleman, Kendall Clark, concerning EABFD. I would like to address these statements. On that letter concerning my department has had of ADR having to respond to cover calls in the town district are blatantly false. I reached out to emergency services, got a copy of every call that we responded. I have my call log, my run numbers, and signatures of everybody that responded to these calls. And some of the times I admit there may have been some mix-ups with Central because the boundaries of East Arcadia town limits are kind of, here and there. They've got calls sometimes inside our district, and nothing hardly ever gets by me because I have my radio with me. I've left church whenever we had a call, so that's how serious I am about this fire department. But I would call Central and say, I said our district, and we responded, and we have. We were paid at times in our district, and we've been paid outside of our district. Most of 87 is ADR's district, and maybe they'll get something confused with the districts or what, but since 2022, I do not know of a call. We've only had 4 or 5 structure fires, 2 of them major. We responded to every one of those calls. We've had 1 car fire. East Arcadia was there. Not only to structure fires, we've been called out multiple times on mutual aid, Delta calls, Echo calls for people severely sick. We provided CPR on some patients until EMS can get there. 1 patient had overdosed, and I realized that, so EMS was 30 minutes away, so they had a deputy with Narcan to come. I informed them to get somebody with Narcan here just as quick as they could. That person was saved and didn't die. And some of these calls inside the district, some of them outside the district. But as far as we're concerned, when people come and need help and issues, there's no boundaries, there's no city limits, there's no nothing. But we will respond to structure fires, the town limits in the area are complicated. I just stated that. And the boundaries, it determines who gets called here and there. But we've been a major help to other departments. We've been out numerous times with Kelly. They're our main mutual aid. Carver Creek structure fires, accidents on 87. Wherever we are needed, we're right there. Lots of times we're not even paid, and I'm listening. I say, well, do you need some help up here? Or do you need help there? And the chief at Kelly, Mr. Ken Thornton, Mr. Edwards at Carver Creek, they will test. Anytime that I think that they need structure fire right there by Youngstown Road, we were out 2 o'clock in the morning helping them. So it kind of hurt me when it come up, and I'm like, wait a minute, what EA are they talking about? There's no way that they can say that we haven't been responding or they're responding and no calls, nobody from our departments. That's just not true. And I've tried to maintain a good relationship with Mr. Camlin. I talk to him regularly. If you ever have issues, we've got a better water supply so far as fresh and flow per gallon per minute on the hydrants. If you need help or you get in a condition called, my water flows on my hydrants in the A are better than the county hydrants on that end, based because the supply locations are just so far away. So we're willing to work with ADR, Kelly, anybody to do mutual aid. I've tried to establish good relationships with them, EMS with the county. In fact, this year, East Arcadia Department on this the county level, we have East Arcadia Fire Department member, the treasury of the Bladen County Firefighters Association.
And yours truly, me, will be president of the Bladen County Firefighters Association for this year come up. So we've come a long ways. We asked for the opportunity and chance to serve. I'm proud of the job we done, and we've had a few hiccups here and there like any department, but we're still struggling to maintain and do better by this fire department to make it grow. Still growing, get new people coming in. We're starting a junior fire department. We're trying to get more members trained so that we can respond on EMS issues. Whenever we have people to severely stick into EMS and get that. So we'll work it in every area that we can to try to improve and be better. And what this letter here stating is just blatantly false. And I started to bring a copy. It would have been too much of my call log. I got a book about like this. Every time something goes on in District 54, we are there.
Well, thank you. You did right to come and talk with us and share. We appreciate what you've done. We said that we believed in you and that you guys could get your fire department back. We voted to support you in that. We're proud of what you've done. I know you still got a ways to go. You guys are well represented in our monthly meetings of the Fire Association, and we appreciate you.
Yep. And again, I thank y'all for the opportunity. We asked for the chance. It was tough and rough to get going, but I've tried to make those amends to the way we can do better. Be a service to the, to not just to us in our area. And it never was that we didn't want and need ADR's help. We just wanted to be able to have the fire department East Acadian and get a chance to get it to work. And if issues like this had been going on, in fact, here a month or so ago, I put in a request for some of the county funding. There's no way I would have come up and asked for all the fire department funds, and this was happening. I mean, it's just no way. It's not us, but we ask your continuing support. We're gonna do our best on that end to continue to grow and make a better fire department, and also to improve our fire ratings. But thank you for this opportunity to clarify this.
It's to help you, help yourself, and we'll do everything we can to do that.
Yeah, we're working hard. I promise you, we're working hard. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any other individuals? Okay. Anything else from the commissioners?
Got one thing.
Yes, sir.
I want to touch base again, something I failed to mention about the meeting we had as far as a building concern. Tonight, we've got Chuck Hughes who we broke up in groups that night to get thoughts from the public and had 4 teams. But we had Chuck in that meeting, and we had Dr. Duncan in our meeting. We had Ann Brown from the school system. And what I want to share with you is a building of any size of magnitude. We looked on our group, disaster, relief off of our 2 high schools as far as having a building for disaster, because it's tough on the schools sometimes and it puts a hardship on. Red Cross coming in, and the reason I share this, as we brought up things and we had people that had knowledge that was in our group, and which this is one of the more important things when it becomes to funding, so many different things that we can add to and use for that facility at particular moments and times that qualifies us for grants, which will help initiate the funding when we get started, whatever size building we build, that there's alternatives to get more funding. I just want to share that with you, that we're not sleeping, we're at the wheel, and we're not taking no-dos, but we're trying to do something that's good for you. Thank you.
Anything else? If not, always like to explain to folks that there are times we have to go in closed session, and I can assure you the 9 of us would rather be doing what you're doing, getting ready to go to the house. We can't. We'll be here for a long time still tonight, so we appreciate you understanding that we're not trying to keep anything from you, I hope. With that, I'll entertain a motion to enter closed session, of course, NCGS 143-318.
So moved.
All right, is there a second? Discussion, not all those in favor, we're in closed session. Close lights,